Batavia, Ohio. A woman will spend nearly a decade in prison after her 4-year-old child died from severe malnutrition and her teeth rotted out. A judge sentenced Tamara Banks to 9 years in prison on Friday morning. Christopher Hobe, also charged in the child's death, awaits sentencing on June 11th. Banks was convicted of 1 count of involuntary manslaughter after the Claremont County coroner determined the girl's cause of death was diabetic ketoacidosis, a life-threatening condition that affects people with diabetes. Prosecutors said the girl had diabetes that was left undiagnosed and untreated over a long period of time. According to the prosecution, the girl was found unresponsive on January 21st, 2022. The couple called 911 and the girl was taken to a hospital. She was eventually declared to be brain dead and ultimately taken off life support. Prosecutors said the girl died as a direct result of neglect and abuse from her parents, Hobe and Banks. Diabetic ketoacidosis, or DKA, is an extreme complication of untreated diabetes, said Dr. Chris Peltier, president of the Ohio chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics. Peltier said the condition is not necessarily uncommon among children. He said the onset of diabetes can come quickly and children can get sick quickly. However, left untreated, the condition can cause a coma or even death. Eventually, the body will just shut down. Prosecutors claim Banks and Hope fed their daughter mostly Mountain Dew, mixed with formula, through a baby bottle. When she died, the 4-year-old girl had almost no teeth left in her mouth because they had rotted out. So that's all for this article. You can find it on WCPO.com, which is a local news agency for Cincinnati. This happened in Cincinnati, I believe, near Amelia, or at least that's where the girl's funeral took place. And I would like to add that I also read in another article that this lady had a son who, at the age of 4, also experienced diabetic ketoacidosis, but luckily they were able to save him. So with that being said, and since knowing that this woman is giving her child Mountain Dew daily from a baby bottle, which at 4 years old shouldn't be on a baby bottle. I see numerous pictures of this child in a diaper, shouldn't be in a diaper. Almost every picture of this child showed her dirty, in a messy house. She just didn't look very well taken care of. And knowing that the first child had DKA, they were doing the same thing to this one that they, was doing to him, clearly. They were feeding him Mountain Dew with baby formula. I don't understand. Even if you had half a brain, you would know that your child doesn't survive off of baby formula and Mountain Dew. So I don't know if this woman was intentionally trying to harm her kids, if she was just lazy, if she just was too stupid. I don't know. But you would think after the first incident that CPS would have been involved and that it wouldn't have got to this point with this little girl. Because, they did save the boy, but this little girl clearly lost her life. And I will tell you, I am a diabetic and I have been in DKA, and it is terrible. You literally feel like you're dying and there's no fight left in you because you're just drained in every way possible. Like, you don't want to move, you don't want to get up, you don't want to do anything. You just lay there. And knowing that these children were in DKA is heartbreaking to me. I know what it's like. I've been there. I wouldn't want an adult to go through it. I certainly wouldn't want a child to go through it. And to know that this lady's getting between 9 to 13 years is what I read in one article, that because she pled guilty to manslaughter, she would get a lesser charge or whatever. I don't think that's right. I really don't. I feel like, why would you even let her plead? You have enough to convict her. You have enough proof. Just convict her and throw the book at her. So that's really aggravating. And I hate seeing these stories. So many stories of these Ohio moms neglecting their kids. The one story I did about the mom who went on vacation and left her toddler or baby alone in a playpen and for a week or so and thought it would be fine. I mean, come on, women. You're making Ohio look bad here. You really are. We're breeding stupid parents. It's aggravating. And then you've got the dad, that Chad Duerman, who gunned down his kids. I just get sick of seeing these stories. And I know I report on them. I don't report on all of them, not all of them. But when something really grabs my attention or something is just so hard to believe, I will do a video on them, because it's like, it's hard to believe there's people out there in the world like this. Unfortunately, there are, and there are a lot of them around here. It just is really aggravating. And it was my husband that first saw this story and brought it to my attention. He's like, "You won't believe what's happening now." And I'm like, "Oh, great." So then he told me what was happening, and I said, "Well, I haven't saw that story yet." So I went and looked it up, and sure enough, and to know that this is the second child in her care that this has happened to. It should have never got to that point. She shouldn't have been allowed to have that child. But that it's just a tragedy. It's one of those things where after the fact you say, "Man, I wish I could have stepped in. I wish I could have saved that kid. I wish I could have done something." But at the end of the day, these people hide behind closed doors, and they try to act like they're the perfect parent. Like this woman saying she was taking care of her kid the best she could. The thing is, there are family, there are neighbors, there are friends, there are teachers and schoolmates and other people that see the abuse and they don't report the abuse. So that's my 2 cents. And if you suspect someone is abusing their child, report it. There's no harm in having it looked into. So that's it for today. This story really gets to me. I'm sure it does you too. Please feel free to leave a comment. And as always, like, share, and subscribe for